Hey guys, welcome back to SurvivalBows. It's me, Devraj again. So, this is Snake Bow Build Along, part 5. Now, in the previous part, we were supposed to do tillering, but as you know if you watched the whole thing, we weren't able to because we had to fix the plane of the bow. So here I am today, and I said at the end of the video, I believe I said that we had to, one side of the limb had a natural reflex at the tip, so we have to remake that reflex on the other side of the limb. So I'm going to show you guys how I go about doing that. Now, there's various ways you can do that. Steaming is probably the best way, but you know, I don't have that kind of those kinds of tools. So the other way you can do it, basically, you just have to get heat to the limb, enough heat that it becomes kind of like malleable, and you can change the shape a little bit without breaking it. Steaming is the best way because, like, I've just noticed from watching people steam bows, it's just the best way to do it and bend the bow to its most without breaking it. But you can still do another way, and that way you can take heat and hit the bow with heat, like from a fire, dry heat, and that works too. It's just that it's a little bit like you have to be a little bit more careful, but that's not a big deal. So the best way to do that, if you're going to do that, is probably with forms and everything, but I don't have that kind of stuff either. So, you know, I'm going completely basic. So what I have, right, is I have this here stove, which is what I always use. You know, I'm going to put it on medium to medium-high heat. And what I'm going to do, right, if you're outside, probably the best way to do this, I think, so that you don't hurt anyone, is find two trees that are very close to each other that you can wedge the bow in and bend it in the direction you want. You gotta be careful when you bend it, though. You can't overbend it, just a little bit, you know, at a time. And then, but since I'm not outside right now, and I can't really go to the forest to do this, this cabinet is really heavy, and it's not gonna move from the weight. So what I'll do is I'm gonna wedge it under here, and actually bend it upwards like that. I know it looks crude and everything, but it's just how I get things done, you know? Everyone has their own way. So, first things first, let's get some heat on this. So what I'm trying to do, before we start, is I'll show you. If you can, is that good? Yeah. See this limb right here? This limb has just a little bit of a natural reflex. I don't know if you guys can see that well. Just a little bit, right? But since it's a solid tip, I wanted to make the tips as non-bending as possible. You can see it's just a tiny bit thicker than the rest of the limb. That makes it so it doesn't bend, so that reflex really shows when it's bending. This limb, on the other hand, has actually more of a deflex. Kind of funny. On the limb, so what we're going to do here is we're going to take that deflex out and we're going to make it into a reflex, alright? So stick with me, guys. I'm going to show you how this is done. Alright, actually, I'm going to heat this up because it takes a couple minutes to do it correctly, and then I'll be right back, alright? Thanks. Oh, and before I do that, though, I'm going to tell you one more thing. Right where I'm going to put the heat, right here, it's actually already shown with the heat spot there. I got it hot, but I don't know, I just didn't really bend it enough. But, there, I put oil on it. That's important. Any type of oil works, any type of fats, oils, just rub it there. It protects the bow, and it lets the heat just kind of, like, get in there better, I guess. That's the best thing I can say. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, actually, I changed my mind. I'm just gonna show you it because, in case, like, you don't understand anything I might have said along the way for any reason, it's just better to show it. So, oil on top, low, medium-ish heat, and I'm just gonna slowly circle it. You don't want burn marks. Like, you see, these are scorch marks. It's okay if you have a couple of those. I mean, they look bad, so you can always sand them off later. But you don't want black. You want to keep rotating this over this. Oh, again, you see the little hairs of wood on the side that are spontaneously combusting? Don't worry about those. You're going to take them off anyway, and the fire is actually just doing you a favor in that sense. So every couple seconds, like I am, check. The heat you want it is a heat that it actually almost burns your finger when you put it on. I mean, it does hurt if you, like, you know, keep burning your finger just to keep finding out what's the right heat. But to me, that's the best way to do it because you can tell from yourself without having to guess. So, almost. I think one more revolution is actually good enough. I don't even have to check it after that. Alright. One more time, just in case. Alright, then I'll show you guys. I gotta be a little faster, or else the heat will escape. You guys probably can't see that. Okay, can you guys see that now? Okay, I'll put this on the ground. So basically, I'm just gonna put it in here, and I'm gonna bend it only a little bit. You gotta be careful, you know? If you bend it too much, then you could break it very easily. You know, it's malleable, but that doesn't mean that you can bend it a whole lot and get a super reflex out the first time. If you want to do that, I suggest steaming. This is just for getting a little bit more reflex on this limb. So I'm going to hold it here for a couple more seconds, you know, just to make sure, because you want to leave it there for, you know, maybe half a minute, something like that, so enough heat escapes. Because once the heat escapes, whatever form it's in, it's going to stay in that form unless you reheat it and do it again. So you just want to let it really set. A couple more seconds, I think. Alright, I think it's good. Yeah, I think I got a little bit. You know what? I didn't put much into it, but let's see. If you can see that, you can see now, it's bent just a little bit in the opposite direction. See? And then, you know, if it's not quite right, I just reheat it. See, that's still a little bit reflexed, a little bit more. So basically, all I have to do now is just reheat it and do it one more time. I think one more time will be the trick, you know? So that's basically how I'm going about heat reflexing it. And I'll show you guys what this looks like in the next video in the build along. Alright, thanks for watching SurvivalBows. See you guys until the next video. Like, leave a comment, whatever your heart